Everyone, we are live on Instagram and we are live on Facebook. Okay, fantastic. This is great, 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 great. Okay. Yeah, so I quickly invited my students to join. So they'll probably join just now on Facebook. If you are
Cool.
joining on Instagram, say hi, tell us where you're joining from. We are chatting business, um, entrepreneurship, anything, yeah, social media. So if you've got a question, you can also post it. And just before we started, we actually started talking about the energy of a business owner. And I think that's quite an interesting topic to talk about. How are you, Jandre? How's your energy
Um,
this morning?
my energy is always high. It's always at a high vibration. I do the inner work every morning to make sure that it is. But I've also, I've been on this journey for 10 years now and quite
Mm.
intensively for the last 4 years of my life. So
So
I think
if you say you do the inner work, what exactly is that?
let me just finish my thought there for a second. So I was like, I wanted to say, like, even if your energy is high, I might be high now, right now, but it might be low a minute from now because something might happen in my life. And I think at the end of the day, is like it's not a linear thing, right? And when I say energy, it's not necessarily the energy that you have after drinking coffee. It's not the energy that you have after drinking a pre-workout or a Red Bull or a Monster. It's more how you feel emotionally. So that is what I'm referring to energy. So we should actually say, how is your emotional state? Because that dictates the energy, because energy is emotion, right? Energy in motion. That is emotion. Energy in
In
motion is
motion.
emotion. So if you think about it, energy, motion
Mm.
is energy in motion. What does it spell? Emotion. So essentially, at the end of the day, we need to understand that your emotion is actually just energy. And you have control over that more than you think. You have so much more control over your emotions. Some people just don't know that they can do the inner work in order to, I would say, be more at peace with life, have less anxiety, have less stress. And I think in South Africa, a lot of business owners operate from in the survival mode. South Africa is it's a
Mm.
very low vibrational country compared to other countries. Like I've got a partner who in one business who just went to Bali, and which is one of the highest vibrational places that you can go to energetically. And he came back, and we are about to hit a record month, like by 4x. And we were like, what the hell has changed? We've changed this, we've changed about. I mean, what is it? And I told him this morning, I said, it's your energy that's changed. It's like I can
Mm.
tell you now. He's like, yeah, bro,
Wow.
I'm so at peace. I'm so motivated. I'm so optimistic. And we're gonna hit. I mean, that business was doing about 300K a month online. We're doing really well in retail, in clicks and stuff, but we're gonna hit 1 million online probably this month. And I was sitting there
That's
going,
incredible.
what the hell did we change? And we underestimate how much our energies actually contaminate our actions. You see, we live in a physical world, a physical reality, where we still have to take physical action. But the problem we make, or the issue that we have, and the mistakes that we make, the problem is that our energies don't align with our actions. When we do take action, it's out of fear, it's out of stress, it's out of anxiety. It's always out of survival mode, because South Africa, like I said earlier, is a place where the vibrational energy is much lower than other countries, or at least some European countries and some more spiritual countries. And the reason
Mm.
that is because there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of stress. The economy is not where we want it to be, for example, and that creates just a low energetic vibration. But there's a lot of optimistic people, and I think I'm trying to play my part in this country. I'm trying to lift the energy of this country, and we can only do that together, collectively, right? And I don't want to make
Mm.
this a woo-hoo conversation, because a lot of people might sit there and going, Jandre, this makes no sense, and you're speaking a bunch of bullshit. But the reality is, it's scientifically proven, a fact, that everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is just an atom. Everything you see here, from the microphone that I have right now, this is just energy. It's energy that looks like physical matter, but what's happening is it's just molecules vibrating at a frequency that makes it look like an actual microphone. So when you start to understand that, it's a bit of a mind F. It's a bit of a mind F, because it's like, whoa, what are you actually saying? But it boils down to the fact that everything is energy, and your emotion is the most powerful energetic thing that you have as a human being. Your emotion controls your energy. So if you're stressed, if you're anxious, if you living in survival mode, then you have low vibrational energy, which means that you're working against yourself when you're starting to take action. Which means you're pushing the goals that you're trying to manifest further and further away. We all have an idea. We're all manifesting 24/7. We just don't know it. Some people go, I need to learn how to manifest. You don't need to learn how to do it. You're doing it
You're
24/7.
doing it already.
The
You're
problem
living
is,
the life you've been manifesting the
the problem is you
previous
just don't know
year.
how to, consciously manifest what you desire. Um, and I think, when you realize that you are a manifestation machine, Jesus said it best. Like, if a lot of people might say, yeah, I don't believe this. Well, Jesus speaks about it in the Bible if you don't believe it. Like, if you're not
Mm,
religious, if you're spiritual, then you obviously most likely know this. If you're not and you're religious, then you look at Jesus. Jesus said, as above, so below. He said, as within, so without. He said, with the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And that has all got to do with your own belief that creates essentially your energetic state, which then manifests the reality that you
mm,
desire. That's why a lot of people pray. You pray because you're changing your energetic state. And people, and the thing is, the reality is, a lot of South Africans don't know how to pray. We don't pray the right way. We beg, and begging is a low frequency. It's like when you beg, you
mm,
expressing lack. And when you have lack, you're not going to get it because you're sending the energy out that you don't have it. So without making this a very spiritual conversation and a bit of a woohoo conversation, it's understanding that everything is energy. What you feel, what you think dictates your emotions. What you feel emotionally creates the energy around you. And if you work on your business as a business owner and your energy is not aligned with your goals, you're just working against yourself. That is why some people work extremely hard but get nowhere. That is why some people don't work really hard but get somewhere. It's not got to do with luck. It's not got to do with the fact that there's a big man sitting up there going, this guy is going to get this and this guy is going to get that. And it's like, this guy's been working hard, but you know what? Nope. You are creating your own reality 24/7, and just a
mm,
lot of people just don't know it. So what I wanted to express is the fact that, and I did a video about it in the beginning of the year, is that when you take action in your business, you need to make sure that your energetic state matches the result that you're actually trying to create. And a lot of people's energy goes against the result. So if you say, I want to make 500,000 or 1 million or whatever it may be in revenue, this is not profit, because some people think if you make 1 million in revenue, then you walk away with R1 million, you can spend the money on what you want. It doesn't work like that. In fact, most businesses have an 11% profit margin. So a business that does 1 million only makes 100K profit, right? In theory.
mm,
But getting back to the conversation, let's say you have a revenue goal of 1 million, but you're going, that is logically impossible to get there. I don't know how I'm going to get there. You have doubt, you have fears, you have to now spend money on marketing, but now you're spending that money with fear and anxiety, and you're going, oh, I hope this works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be screwed. That energy essentially manifests into the ads not working. It manifests into shit effing out in the business. It
mm,
manifests into a customer getting their parcel late. It manifests into someone dropping your parcel and you didn't take insurance out of it. Now you have to refund not only the customer, but also buy another product at the same cost. It manifests in all these little things that we call unlucky. We call it, we just
mm.
say, oh, I'm unlucky. That was so unlucky. I knew it was too good to be true. And the reality is, it's just you and your own energy that's actually creating those results in your life without knowing it. So
I
that's
see
my take.
Darren is saying, been very long. Glad you guys are back. You know what? We've been on Facebook, but my Instagram just had a problem. And Blend and Snap Cherie, they've got a lovely sponge, a makeup sponge. I actually used it this morning. Can you see how beautiful my skin looks? That's from Blend and
You
Snap.
look like 10 years younger.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you're watching and you want to know more about energy, because I want to know, um, something you said in the beginning is how can you make sure your energy um, is at the level that you need it. So we're going to talk about that just now. I just want to tell you guys, if you're watching on Instagram, tell us where you're watching from, and also type in the word energy if you want to know how you can also raise your energy in your business and how you can actually um, just get at a state of better energy so that you can show up a better person, so that the people working for you can actually get that energy, so that your customers can feel that. It is sort of like this ripple effect.
100%. That's exactly
And
what it is.
I met with some of my students on Monday, and we're also meeting tomorrow in Paul. I'm so excited to see them. And it was just amazing to have these people around and talking, and that in-person connection. And I think it's so important as well, even in this digital world that we live, that we make sure that we actually network with people in person.
Mm.
And yeah, just draw from each other's energy. So Karen is saying, I've I have too much energy. I talk a lot, but I always want to say, sorry, lots of sunshine. But I always do what I say. That is brilliant, Karen. So
The
guys,
problem
let
with
us
that
know
is
where
that
you
just
are.
want to say something to Karen is that Corina actually is that when
Karina.
you say you have
Yes,
too
it's
much
Karina.
energy, that's not necessarily the energy that we're talking about, because you can have a lot of energy but still be stressed. Remember, the energy I'm referring to is not energy in terms of, I would say, something you get after drinking coffee or a Red Bull or a Monster. I'm not it's not how much power you have in your body to get the job done. What it is your emotional state. So you can have a lot. I know people who have a lot of energy who wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go till 10, but are still not creating the reality that they want because the energy is not aligned with the actions. So when I say high energy, I actually mean, a better word for it is high frequency. The frequency that you're vibrating at, your soul's vibrating at, your mind's vibrating at. So energy
Mm.
is the word we use, but we misunderstand what the word actually means. We use the word energy as, I have energy to do this. That's not what we're saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Mm.
I'm referring to frequency, the frequency that you're vibrating at, because you can only get what you are, which means you can only attract into your life what you are a vibrational match for. So, like I said again, a lot of people have energy, but they're stressed and they're anxious. So she says happy energy. Good. That's amazing. Optimistic energy. That is a high vibration. So there's a something called the energetic scale. Let me maybe quickly bring this up for you guys. Levels of energy
Yeah.
scale.
Yes, high frequencies. You are talking my language. I need to meet you. Then we've got, I have to work really hard on maintaining a positive state, often suffering from imposter syndrome. I'm so happy we're talking about this, Jandre, because I really feel while you get that, we visited Sweden just a month ago, and I could also feel that there's a total different energy there because people are not in survival mode. They don't
Mm.
see poverty like we drive around and we see poverty. Um, they're not in survival mode, and I think it's such an important message that you
Let
are
me
actually bringing to South African entrepreneurs.
let me tell you something. I've worked with
Mhm.
over 400 business owners now
Mhm.
since 2018. You know what the most successful ones have? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
They all have this.
Peace,
And
joy. I'm
exactly,
just saying for
courage,
the guys on
neutrality, willingness,
Instagram.
acceptance. So they have
Oh,
the following: courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace. The people who succeed in life entrepreneurially, the business owners we've worked with, the people who live here in these vibrational frequencies: shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger. These two, fear. Oh my goodness. You know how many business owners live in
mm,
fear? So they live in a low vibrational match they live in a low vibrational frequency, which means that they are a match for that, whatever, they're a match for everything that is a match to fear. So, for example, if you fear losing money, for example, then what's going to happen is you're going to attract a situation into your life that is going to cause you to lose money, because you are a magnet 24/7. You are a 24/7 magnet. You attract shit into your reality all day long, whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not. There
mm,
might be people sitting here going, I don't believe this. I don't care if you believe it. It's true. It's scientifically proven. Jesus speaks about it. The Buddha speaks about it. The Dalai Lama speaks about it. Like every single spiritual guru, uh, religious teacher, all of this says the same thing. It's every almost every religious text. It's just not written in the way that you thought it would be. And what's interesting is that we don't understand it. So if you're a business owner operating in the lower frequencies, which is shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, all of these things, anxiety, stress, all of those things, then when you take action, you're not necessarily going to get the result that you want. So at the end of the day, the business owners that succeed, who have courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace. Acceptance is a big one. Why? Because as a business owner, you need to be open-minded to accept all the results that's on the other side of your investment. You might bring stock into the country and it might be at customs for a week longer than you wanted it to be. Accept it. Don't be
fight it.
angry about it. Because anger is not going to help you. Anger is a low vibrational frequency, which means you most likely going to keep it there for longer. But what you can do is accept, neutralize the event with the energy by just accepting it, forgiving it, being harmonious with it, being merciful, and transcend. It is what it is. I can only do what I can do. Everything else is out of my control. So that is what acceptance is all about. And I think the bottom line is that if you understand the consciousness scale, the frequency scale, the energetic scale, and you can consciously get yourself in a higher state. So this is what I do every morning. Like I wake up and everything I do up until I get to work is about putting me in a high vibrational frequency. And it's not like I have a specific routine or anything. It's just like I listen to things that increase my vibration. I watch videos that is educational, that teaches me more about these things because that makes me feel good. I control my thoughts. Our thoughts. I don't understand how powerful our mind is. The problem is the mind is an amazing tool, but it's also an amazing curse. And you need to be distinguishing which one of the two you're experiencing in your life. Because some people don't even know that their mind is a curse. And they're thinking negative thoughts all day. The average person has 90,000 thoughts a day. And majority of them are negative, especially in this country. Majority of those thoughts are just sad, stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, all of these things. And at the end of the day, I have a habit now where if I have a bad thought, I have a wristband. When I have a negative thought, I literally have a wristband that slaps me on the wrist and I go, hey, it sends a signal to my brain that tells me to not think that again. Don't think that. Like, why am I thinking that?
That is quite a good.
Well, it's
good
like a baby, right? I mean, think about it. Your brain is autonomous. People think that they can control their thoughts, but I mean, you can control your thoughts maybe for a second. If I said think of a pink elephant, you'll be able to think of a pink elephant. But if I tell you not to think of a pink elephant, what happens
You're going to
now?
think of a pink elephant.
So the thing is, like, you can't control your mind. You just can't. Don't think of a green car. What do? We think of a green car. So it's like you cannot control your thoughts. You're not in control of your thoughts as much as you think you are. So when you start to understand that your thoughts are autonomous and your brain is a program that runs automatically, the thoughts originate from this program, and you either have a good program, good software, or you have bad software. So what you need to do is you have to upgrade the software so that the thoughts automatically, majority of them, 90,000 of them per day, that majority of them are good and positive. And that's how you start to move up the frequency scale. And if you're thinking thoughts, like most people don't even know, they're not aware when they have anxious thoughts. They just know that they're anxious and they go, fuck, I'm anxious. Oh, yeah, why am I anxious? Because I've been thinking all this shit. Oh, cool. I literally used to have a journal that every 2 hours my alarm went off and I used to journal exactly what I've been thinking the last 2 hours. And sometimes I can't remember it all. You can't remember it all, but I can remember, I thought about this. And most of the stuff was attached to negative things. It's attached to losing a client. It's attached to losing a staff member. It's attached to not making the profit that we need to make to pay the bills. It's attached to all the, and I was thinking all of these things the whole time. And I'm like, no, you know what? If that, if I am going to manifest the reality that I want, then I'm going to be conscious of the amount of profit I want to make. I'm going to be conscious of how, I want people to feel in the company. And I want to be conscious of what the culture should be like. And I'm thinking all the shit that I want all day long. I'm just thinking about and almost feeling as if it's real. So I'm sending those vibrational frequencies into the universe. We can call it source, God, whatever you want to call it. You can't get wet by the word water. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same thing. But the point is that all of that comes back to you. Reality only reflects who you are, right? So when I started reprogramming my mind, that's really when things started to change. And there are people in your life who are just at low frequencies. Something happened to me yesterday where someone is like, "Oh, Jandre, he's selfish and he's this and he's that," and I'm at a point where that doesn't even faze me anymore. Like usually my heart rate would go up, but I would have a bit of an adrenaline spike and go, but that's not who I am. Who thinks this of me? I know that I'm not like that. I've got so many people who will tell this person that they're lying and it's not true. And normally I would go find the evidence and be like, no, but it's not true. I do this and I do that. And I was just like, you know what? I can't control other people's perspective. I can only control my own.
Absolutely.
So it is what it is. And I'm not giving that any energy. I'm just not going to let it suck any energy out of me. You know what? I'm going to reserve my energy and put it into my business and put it into the people I care about and creating the reality that I prefer to create. And at the end of the day, it's all about helping each other. And I believe in my heart and my soul that that's what we're doing. So long story short, as business owners, we need to start to understand that your own energy is contaminating your success and is sabotaging your success. And we're not conscious of it. And some of us don't want to accept it. Some of us can't accept it. It's just too hard to accept, because how dare I sabotage my own success when I want success? Yeah, but you want it so desperately that you actually pushing it further away. You're sabotaging yourself. It's an actual thing, self-sabotagation. Like it's an actual thing. Like that's what psychologists and psychiatrists speak about. Like you self-sabotaging because you're familiar with the stress that you have and that makes you feel comfortable. But the moment you start growing, things get uncomfortable and you go, this is too good to be true. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. And I'm not going to make this amount of profit. And this person is going to leave and that customer is going to be upset. And if this happens, then I'm going to be screwed. So we always think worst case scenario. Why? Because we're always in survival mode. We want to survive. Our brains are designed to protect us. So our brains are trying to warn us about all the bad things that are outside of our comfort zone. So our brains are programmed to go, hey, be careful. But at the same time, we take it too far. We start stressing about things that are just completely arbitrary and neurotic and is not even scientifically proven to happen, or there's no data to back up the fact that that is objectively even true. But so we start to create issues within our business and issues within our relationships. And people do this in their own marriages. They do it in their relationships, family, business. And it's usually their own fear, anxiety, insecurities that manifests on the outside. And the biggest thing I've changed in my life that I switched to is to consciously make sure that my actions, we still live in a physical world. We can't just sit on a couch and manifest everything good happening. We still have to take action. So when I do take action, I've got my to-do list. These are all the things I have to do today. But I make sure that if I do that task, I'm creating energy, right? Because that's what's happening. I'm moving around. So your body is kinetically creating energy. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that everything I think and feel is aligned with the result that I want. Let's be honest. None of us do things without the expectation of a result. So like when you are sending emails out to clients, hoping for sales, you're doing that for what? Getting sales. So if you're going to be sending an email, then you need to be thinking about how many sales you're going to make, how amazing it's going to feel. Like imagine you just, how awesome would it be if you get like 100 sales from this email? How would that feel like? How amazing. But what do? Oh, this is probably not going to work. I don't know the time to do this. Someone told me to do this. I'm just doing it to prove them wrong. There's no chance. I've tried this before. I'm running Facebook ads. It doesn't work for me. I'm going to record this video with low energy and frequency because I was told to do so by Margriet. I know it's not going to work. Nothing works for me. I'm unlucky. Like I didn't know even why I bought this program. I wasted my money. So all of those thoughts are creating the fact that your email is not working, that your ads are not working. So the biggest shift I've made, in conclusion, is just to have my energy be a high frequency. I think about the result. I feel the result. I'm like, fuck, this is going to be so amazing when we reach 1 million, when we do 2 million a month. It's going to be so amazing. And those things start to slowly crystallize into your reality because we live in third density. Density means it's dense, which means energy has to move into physical matter. We call it physical, but it's not really physical. but it has to move into something that looks solid. And that's what we call time. So it takes time for energy to move into physical matter. But you have control over what matter is going to be in your life. You have control over what matters, but we don't know it. I've gone off on a tangent in
So,
passion. I
yeah,
hope there was some value in
absolutely.
it.
But you know what? Here is the great thing about being a South African. So, if we understand the opportunity in what we just learned here, it is this, that if about 99% of people find their comfort zone in being negative, because there's enough reason, like no one's going to tell you, dude, there's something wrong with you if you're being negative, because that is what it's almost as if we find our identity in that. So this means if you can be the one person that can be just 1 or 2% more to the positive side, you have so much opportunity, because so many people are just going on day by day, being in their comfort zone, being negative. So if we can be the business owners that realize, oh my word, there is a massive opportunity right now to really grow a business, to give better service, to make more sales, because we understand that most people are just not going for it. They just procrastinating. They just being lazy. So if you're the one saying, okay, I'm going to work on my energy levels, I'm going to show up a different person, I'm going to look at my thought process, then you have basically a 99% advantage to everyone else. And just
100%.
just changing that little thing
And the
will.
worst thing is, like, what people don't even understand is, like, what do you have to lose? So you might sit there and go, this is bullshit. What do you have to lose? It costs you no money to try this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm,
I usually tell people, it's like, what do you have to lose? Whatever you've been doing now has not been working for you, right? Is it safe to assume? Yes. Okay,
yes.
great. And if you have to do something else, you usually have to pay money for that, right? Yes. And do you have money? No. Okay. So this is something that you can do that has got
Mhm,
zero risk, because
mhm,
what are you going to lose? It costs you no money, so there's no pain attached to it. So all you have to do is just go and do it. It's literally
mm,
as simple as that. Go and focus on yourself. Become self-aware. Go, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Why am I thinking this way? And journaling, so important, because when you start to journal and get quiet by yourself, and you start to
mm,
just go, what am I thinking today? What am I feeling today? What dreams did I have? What did I feel last night? And it's journaling is, you can tell a story and great, and you can do all of those things too. There's many different tactics behind journaling, and there's many different purposes behind it. But what I like to do, and was a huge self-discovery exercise for me, is I used to kind of like vomit out what I felt. I felt anxious. Okay, let's peel the layers of the onion. Why are
mm,
you anxious? I'm anxious because I'm scared that we can't grow at the rate that we need to grow to. Okay, why do you need to grow at that rate? Well, I need to grow at that rate because then I can make this amount of profit. Okay, why do you need to make this kind of amount of profit? Well, I need to take care of these people and people with me who work with me, and I want to make sure everybody's taken care of and everybody feels, like they at least fairly compensated. Okay, so all you can do is do your best, and if that doesn't happen, what's the worst case? What's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing to happen is I might, lose a client. Okay, is that really gonna be the end of the world?
mm,
uh, is it really? Like, I've lost my 1-year-old son who drowned, literally in front of my wife's eyes. So then you go, is that really the worst thing that's going to happen? Like losing a client, is that
sure.
really the worst thing? Losing a staff member, is that really the worst thing that can happen? If you had to go down to zero tomorrow, what is the worst thing? How is that going to look like? Well, I don't know. I'm going to move in with my parents. Well, I'm fortunate enough to have parents that I can move into. I can go sleep on the couch. I can put my kids and we can move to the platteland and put them in another school. Like, worst case, what I've realized is worst case is never that bad, but we
Mm,
inflate it. We create this hyperbolic, what is the word? Don't know what the right word is, but it's like we create this hyperbolic scenario where worst case is so terrible, and I'm basically going to be dead. And it's like, no, you know what? Worst
mm,
case is not that bad. And when you start to journal and peel the layers of the onion, you start to make these conclusions. And then you go, oh, shit, I really don't have much to lose. I can only do my best. So if I'm going to be thinking, I might as well think positive things. I might as well believe positive things. I might as well believe it's possible. Even though there's no logical way to get there. Like, I don't know how to logically get there. But the reality is, who does? Only a few people who've reached that level have the knowledge, but they didn't have that knowledge when they started. So nobody had a logical roadmap to getting to where they were in terms of success. And then you realize it's not about the logical roadmap. It's about just going with the flow and trying your best and being positive. You start to attract random people into your life at the right time. At the right time, you get this client. At the right time, you get this staff member. At the right time, you get this partner in your life. At the right time, everything just starts to perfectly work out for you. And it's not God sitting there going, okay, now we're going to unleash the blessings on this person because they've proven themselves. I just don't believe that is true. I can't believe that is true. It is you that have chosen to change within. And that's what God says, as within, so without. The kingdom of God is within you. So
we already have it.
So what we don't realize is that we have the power, the energy. God said, why are you so surprised? This was Jesus. Why are you so surprised that I'm doing these miracles? You can do these miracles and more you can do. And if you don't believe that you can do it in my name. This is what he said. If you don't believe that you can do it in my name. So use me as a substitute if you don't believe you can do it yourself. So the point is that everything stems from your own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. That dictates the frequency that you are vibrating on. And that frequency is really what is creating the reality around you. And your physical action that you take, all of it will be in vain if you don't align the energy with the result that you want, essentially.
So guys, for those of you watching, if you've got a question, please post it. We've got about 10-15 minutes left of this live. And if you have any questions, post it down there. So for me, when I was, I also had to make a massive shift in my thinking. And I used to work so hard for a boss, but I used to complain a lot because they didn't respect women. They didn't respect me as a mom. And all those evidence were there. So every day I would say, I'm so upset with my boss. My boss is doing this and this and this and this. And it's been going on like that I was there 5 years, just complaining about everything he does wrong. And everyone can agree with me. So there was evidence. Until one day I was like, you know what? No one's forcing me to be here. No one's putting a gun against my head. So if I don't like where I am, I better change. And It was the biggest shift in my life. And I told myself, and who cares what my boss does because he built his business. He can do whatever he wants. If I want to be able to do whatever I want, I need to build my own business. Then I can be, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. He can be that because he went through the effort to build his business. It's not for me to complain about that. And I have to say that it just changed me from being a victim of my life to understanding everything I have in my life is a choice. If I don't want that, I don't have to be here. You're not a tree, move. Absolutely. And yeah, I think that was such a big shift in my life. So everything I have, even every single client, that is what I choose. If I'm not happy with that, I'm not going to complain. Then I have to learn to make different choices. So yeah, it's such an interesting, I had a similar experience. In the case, I had amazing support to change my thoughts. It's a choice. It's a choice. Absolutely.
I see. I think there's a YouTube question there. Can I quickly show this
yes,
one?
Yes, sure. Go for it.
Armando said, how did you scale the supplement brand to over 2 million per month? Okay, I think there's a misunderstanding. We never scaled the supplement brand to 2 million a month. We are doing $1 million in revenue this month for the first time online. We're doing about, I don't know what the retail numbers are going to be confidential. But online, we can say we're probably going to do 1 million this month, number one. Number two, the brand that we did do over 2 million a month was another brand. I'm not going to disclose what brand that is, but that's we own 50% of that company. The profit was roughly 25 to 30%. So you can just calculate that. I think it was about 600 last month, 550 before tax and whatever. And then there's profit share we need to do and pay commission out to staff, whatever. But the point is that at the end of the day, I hope I didn't misarticulate myself. That's not true. But the point is, how do you do it? Like, it's literally making sure that you come up with a roadmap. So it's like, well, how do people grow brands? Well, go to someone who's done it before. So if you're going, hey, how do I grow the supplement brand? Then the first thing you need to do is go to someone who's built a supplement brand before, or a brand, in that space, or just an online store, and learn what to do. Get the knowledge. The first step is you need to get the knowledge. I think that's what people don't understand. Is like, if we have to break this down in a simple fashion, right? First thing is ignorance. We don't know what to do, and we don't know what we don't know. So we first need to get the knowledge. And you have to either pay someone or ask someone for a coffee or speak to someone who's done it before, or Google or YouTube or ChatGPT, or you need to do something to get the knowledge. The knowledge is just not going to fall into your head. There's very few people that are that fortunate who's ascended masters who can download information from the universe, essentially. So the point is, most people can't. So you're going to have to do something to gain the knowledge. The second thing is, once you've got the knowledge, you need to start taking action. Simple as that. And I think it's a matter of just doing what you need to do. You need to run your Facebook ads. You need to monitor your ROAS. You need to make sure that your pricing models are right, that there's enough profit in after expenses. You need to make sure that you hire the right people. This answer can get very vague or can get very granular, but that's going to be a 3-hour webinar. So I think on a top level, it's like, first you need to understand the knowledge. Go speak to someone who's done it. Understand what you need to do next. What are the next steps that I need to take? I need to run Facebook ads. Okay, cool. Well, now either you need to gain the knowledge on how to run Facebook ads, or you need to pay someone to do it for you who has the knowledge and the experience to do it right. And look, we overcomplicate everything. Everybody thinks there's this silver bullet to getting to 2 million. Oh, all you have to do is register on this one website, and they're going to drive so much traffic for free, and everybody's going to buy your product, and you're going to get 2 million, in revenue and profit per month. And this is not a reference to Armando specifically, but I'm saying, because I'm not saying that is him, but what I am saying is, so many people are looking for that one thing. Where can I quickly register to make 1 million rand? Like, where can I quickly do this? There must be a place. Like, I know that there's someone is gatekeeping the secret to getting rich. The secret to getting rich is you. Like, you are the secret. Your energy is the secret. The actions you take is the secret. And I think your belief that you don't deserve whatever you desire is the actual secret. When you start believing that it's possible, when you start believing in yourself, when you start to change, because the moment you believe, if there was an infrared scan of my brain and how it affects my energy levels, the temperature of my body, and all these things, right? These are scientific things that you can do. If you had to do that scan, someone who doesn't believe versus someone who believes in something looks completely different. And they look completely different because they're energetically completely different. And this is what Jesus said, like, with the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. This is what he's saying. Your own belief in yourself and that it's possible is usually the secret. That is the secret. How do you get to 2 million months? You believe that it's possible. If you don't believe it's possible, no matter what you do, it's not going to happen. So number one. Number two, gain the knowledge. Number two, practice and implement and do what you need to do. So your actions, and then when you do take the action, make sure your frequency and your energy is aligned with that you need to be able to feel the success. But here's the paradox, and I'll end off with this, is that sometimes we want things so badly that we push it away. And so, for example, let's say I'm thirsty, right? I'm in a desert and I'm thirsty, and I'm going like, let's hypothetically say I'm praying for water. I need water so badly. Please, God, help. It's not God deciding whether you're going to get water or not. It's your own energetic vibration, because God has given you free will to create the reality that you want. Number one. So now you're going, I am so thirsty. All I want is water. I am in desperate need of water. What does the universe do? It takes this bottle of water and it moves it further away so that you can keep wanting it. See, you got your water, just manifested it.
Now, I'm thirsty.
So when you're thirsty and you go, all I want is water, the universe is going to go, source, God, whatever you want to call it, it's going to go, cool, I'm going to move this water a little bit further away so you can keep wanting it. No, but I want it. Yeah. Well, You're vibrating the energy that you don't have it. So what's going to happen? I'm going to move it further away so you can keep not having it, so you can keep wanting it. Oh, wait, I need to believe it's possible to get water. I need to believe that there's an oasis right near me somewhere where I can get that water. I need to taste that water. I need to feel it already. I need to believe that I'm going to be saved. What happens as you keep walking? Boom, oasis appears. There's water because you believed it was possible, and you didn't beg for it. You just knew it was going to happen. That is what Jesus said. There was a situation. What was it in? Was it Petrus? I can't remember. Who walked on water? So Jesus walked on water, and he went, "Come, you can also walk on the water." And he was like, "Oh, are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, step on the water." Boom. What happened? He looked around and he sank, and he said, "It's your belief. You stopped believing, idiot. If you just believed, you wouldn't have sunk."
And you think, if you think about that, it happens a lot with us in business. Now we do the things, we implement, and suddenly it happens. You're like, oh my word, sales are coming in, and then you just you stop everything you did, and then you self-sabotage. We talk about this a lot in business school because there's some students, so they're doing their Facebook ads, they put so much effort on. Suddenly sales come in and like, oh my word, there's sales coming in through my ads, and then she would say, and I stopped the ads. And I'm like, but why did you stop the ads? I don't know if I'm doing the things right. It's like, it is working for you. You are doing it. Money is coming in. And because of that, now you start doubting that you should be getting those sales. You worked so hard to get the sales. And now all you're going to do is self-sabotage because now you stop believing that it's actually happening.
Well, usually what we do is when the sales come in, we go, oh, it's probably not going to happen tomorrow. It's like, it's literally, we go, oh, this is too good to be true. I doubt it's going to happen tomorrow. There's no chance. Like, this can't happen 2 days in a row. And what happens is you send out the energetic vibration that this is not normal. And what happens? The universe goes, yeah, this is not normal for them. Dry out those sales so we can give them what's normal. And they go like, literally, hey, just turn down that tap there. We should give this lady less sales because she is telling us that that's not normal for her. Okay, cool. We'll just turn the tap off. And then what happens? Sales go down. You're like, oh, I knew this was too good to be true. No, you created that reality because you didn't believe that it's possible, and you didn't believe you deserve it, and you believe that it's too good to be true. So I think it's a matter of having the confidence in yourself. If you had to overlap, and this is what I said in our previous video, millionaires, billionaires versus small business owners. So you have small business owners, millionaires, billionaires. If you have to understand what is the biggest difference between a small business owner and a billionaire, there's the inner belief and confidence, almost like a sense of arrogance to believe that they could have done it. Like if you watch every single billionaire movie, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, whatever, whoever you want to watch, you will find that there's this little bit of arrogance to go, I can do this. I deserve this. I know I deserve this. And you can turn it into a good thing. You can turn it into a beautiful confidence. You can turn it into a beautiful energy around you, loving, grateful energy around you. You don't have to be arrogant, obviously. That is borderline, stepping over the border of confidence. But it's that confidence of like, I deserve this. I'm going to do it. It's going to work. At some point, it's going to fucking happen. And they just never stop believing that. And so what happens to a lot of people, they just stop believing because it's like they have objective proof to them that they don't get it right. And they go, I knew it. It's not meant for me. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. It is what it is. I'll just accept my life. And I think that's the biggest shift that we have to make is like, believe that it's possible. Believe that you can get those results. Believe that whether you are, whatever scenario you find yourself in, if there's something that you want or want to experience, whether it's for you or for a client or for someone else, believe that it's actually possible. And your energy needs to also, that other person, remember, we're creating our realities together because my energy is mixing with your energy. So if we're business partners, our energies need to be aligned. Because if my energy is here and your energy is there, then we're just working against each other. So this is the beautiful thing about business partners. And that's why I always pick business partners who operate on a high frequency. Like I don't pick business partners who don't believe that they should be in business. I don't pick people who are anxious and stressed out. Like when I do business with people who are optimistic and open to anything and accept realities and happy to take the risk. And those people, we always have success because our energies are aligned. But the moment you partner with someone who's stressed out and anxious and we need to sign this document and I'm so worried, like I really can't, you both working against each other. So if you pick a
Mm.
business partner or a spouse or whatever it is in your life, it needs to be someone who can match your energy and frequency, or either pull you up, or someone who is you can pull up. Obviously, we're here to assist each other. But if the two of you are just complete polar opposites, that's when essentially chaos starts to happen. So I do spiritual. I don't know what you want to call it, but like literally before I do business with someone, I make sure that my energetic frequency is a match for that person, and you can feel it. You can feel the way they think. You can feel once you
Mm.
have an hour or two conversation, you've met someone in person, you go, this is the person I want to work with because I know we're going to do good shit together. I literally flew down to Cape Town to go and meet Vickers, who's a partner in the business today. I flew down to Cape Town, met him for one day, and a month later he was a partner in the business. And we were already, a 3-4 million rand business a year back then. This was in 2020, 2021. And people are like, yo, that's a huge risk. No, it's not a huge risk at all because I measured the energy. It's like, it's not a risk at all. Like it wasn't a risk at all. And if it didn't work out, I'll try the next thing. But as we go, but this business of mine, like I need to, if it, I don't
Mm.
know, lack everywhere, fear everywhere, stress
Mm.
everywhere. I don't know. It's not possible for me. It's too good to be true. I'm never going to get there. That is what's contaminating everybody. Success at the end of the day.
And it's also just that comfort zone where you want to be in, you want to complain. I think that habit of complaining is such a bad habit. It's such a bad habit. It's something we just want to do. We want to complain. We want to talk about the country's, what's going bad. And I think we have to get disciplined in breaking those bad habits. So
Yeah.
Quentin is saying, so how do you measure the energy?
So, I mean, literally what you do is you just tune in. So some people are so distracted in their own mind that they can't feel anything. All they feel is stress and anxiety. So when you operate on a level of peace, if you can be fully present, like in this moment, nothing else is distracting you from this moment right now, right here, at this present moment of 10:51 a.m. There's nothing else that exists outside of this moment. If you can have a conversation with someone and you can have that level of presence, it's like the energies start to merge. And you can feel this person's love. You can feel if they're stressed. I feel people's energy all the time. I literally walk down. My banker is literally, I'm in Sandton City, our offices. I've got a banker at FNB. His name is Chad. Super nice guy. And I haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 months. I bumped into him and I said, how's it, man? He goes, yeah, it's good. I was like, I like your energy today. Like, what's changed? And, he's a religious guy. I'm not really extremely religious, but, any long story. But like, he was like, I'm going to church and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I was like, I could tell. The moment I bumped into him, I could tell. I was like, your energy's changed. Like, you're a completely different person to who you were 2 months ago. And he's like, I've got a girlfriend. This has happened. That's happened. I've been going to church. And I was like, amazing. That's
It's
amazing. I
attracting.
felt it,
Yeah.
but I felt it. I felt it. Like I literally said to him, "You've changed." And I mean, it was literally like a handshake. But the moment you become present in the
Amazing.
moment, your intuition starts to expand. It's almost like you can start to be more receptive to things around you, and you can
Mm.
start to feel certain things. And I think,
Mm.
that's at least the way I do it. I'm sure there's other things that you can do to measure energy, but what I do is I get very quiet, I get very peaceful, I have a conversation, and then I start to just feel my gut, your intuition, your gut tells you. So listening to your gut, that is the biggest measure of energy, is your gut. The moment you meet, when you meet someone for the first time and there's just this something that goes, I don't know, that is your gut. And your gut is processing information faster than your brain ever could, because your gut basically processes the energy because it feels the energy. Your brain takes that energy, and then so what happens is it goes up to your brain, and then your brain goes, oh, this person is this, and maybe he's that, and I don't know. Your gut just knows instantly. That's what energy is. It just flows into you, and your gut can feel it. And then that energy goes to your mind, and your mind starts to calculate all these different scenarios of what kind of person this is. And then you're trying to logically reason what kind of person it is. That's what your
Mm.
mind tries to do. But you can say, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about this person. That's your gut going, listen, stay away. And your mind's going, I don't know what it is. There's something wrong, but logically it could be this, it could be that. Maybe it's the fact that he did this. Maybe it's the fact that he said that. Your brain starts to logically reason what the issue is. Your gut just knows from the get go.
Mm.
So listening to your gut is one of the biggest things you can do.
So
if you know how.
yesterday I took my two daughters to go and watch the best movie in the world. So if you haven't seen it, you have to go and watch it. It's Inside Out 2.
Oh, I
It
heard it's
is
good.
it is the best practical explanation or visualization of how your emotions impact your life. And it is, I mean, Inside Out 1 was good, but Inside Out 2 is, it's the most brilliant movie, and it's for all ages. Like it's so funny, like the anxiety, you can see, okay, this is what is busy going on in my brain. So that is really a brilliant movie. So you guys, if you haven't watched it, or
Lovely.
you've got kids, go and take them. It's that was so amazing. Yeah, you know what? Just a practical tip. Maybe this can help someone. What really helps me, especially if we're so busy, we don't have time, and we don't set our alarm to make time. What really works well for me is just breathing exercises. Literally, for like, if you do a breathing exercise for 5 minutes, um, so for me, that brings so much energy. If I just do literally for 5 minutes, just focus on breathing deeply, so much, like I get so much energy.
100%.
Okay.
It's all the present moment gives you energy. That's what it boils down to. Cool. Magriet,
Okay, great.
everybody,
Yes,
much
gotta
love to
go.
everyone. It was such a good chat. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Keep posting your questions. We will answer in the Facebook. But yeah, we gotta go. See you all. Bye
Much
bye.
love. Bye.
Ek weet nie